So let me guess. The short form videos that you make on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts stink. And no matter how hard you try, you still get no views. And then you blame your editing skills. Well, let me tell you this, it's not about your editing. After watching this video, I guarantee you'll be making more and better short form content in the most easiest and fastest way possible. This means that you'll have a higher chance at getting the views that you deserve. And then life will be good. First, let me ask you a question. Do you have a system? What kind of system, you ask? Well, the kind of system that helps you create videos more efficiently and lets you post on a consistent everyday schedule. And if you don't have one, here's how it works. A short form video content system has 4 components. Number 1 is pre-production, 2 is production, 3 is post-production, and 4 is posting schedule. Now, as complex as that sounds, the entire process is actually pretty simple. Let's start with pre-production. This is the stage where you plan what your entire short form content is going to be. Whatever content you create, there has to be some sort of plan before you shoot your videos. Pre-production can have 3 things: script writing, screenplay, or storyboarding. First off is script writing, which is very basic. It's where you write a script for the voice of your video. This can be for talking head videos like this, voiceover scripts, or even those AI voiceovers that you see on TikTok these days. I write scripts for every single short form video that I make, and your scripts can be very generic. It doesn't have to be complex or anything fancy. As long as you have something written down for you or someone else to speak in your video, you're Gucci. The easiest way to write a script is to use dot points. Whenever you write in dot point form, you don't have to write whatever you're going to say word for word. It's like a school presentation where you go with the flow and use the main points to speak. This method makes you sound more natural and authentic, especially when you're talking straight to the camera. The next best way to write a script is by writing it word for word. But this method takes a lot more effort because writing a script word for word and trying to make it sound natural is pretty difficult. But short form videos typically have very fast pacing, so it doesn't really matter how natural you sound. What matters more is what you say in your hook to get people watching. I've tried writing scripts using dot points and word for word, but I can't say that one is better than the other because it all depends on you and how you want to write your videos. Next up is screenplay, which is a little more advanced. If you want to take your content to the next level, adding screenplay is the next step you should take. It's where you write every single scene of your video in detail, just like a movie script. With my shorts, I like to have cut scenes to keep my viewers engaged. It's basically just me acting out and visualizing what I'm talking about, just like a skit. But for you, it could be different depending on what kind of content you create. For example, you could be using a lot of stock footage in your shorts, so you would need to note that down in your script. That's basically what screenplay is. The final method in pre-production is storyboarding. It's where you draw and sketch out your video on paper or on computer. Storyboarding is pretty advanced, and I personally don't see the point in doing it myself. But if you're into that and that's an efficient way for you to plan your videos, then go ahead and do it. Plus, I take ages to draw. You may prefer to sketch out your videos to visualize what it's going to look like before you even shoot, and that's completely fine. Again, it's based on your preference. Just make sure that the method that you use in pre-production is actually efficient and it doesn't take too long. Pre-production shouldn't take more than a day to finish. Like, I only spend 1 day every week writing all my shorts. But the next stage in this system is where the fun begins. Production. This is where you actually shoot the video footage that you need for your shorts. And if your content doesn't need any filming, then you're going to need some stock footage. But if you do film your own content, then you're going to need to know exactly what order you're going to film every single short in. Filming each of your videos one by one is really important so you don't get mixed up. The best advice I can give to you for shooting content within 1 day is to take your time. Spend an entire day of filming if you have to. I only spend 3 to 4 hours of filming every Monday, which is my only shooting day for the week. Whatever your content is, make sure you allocate a day or 2 days to film your videos. Again, take your time because the last thing you want is to find a mistake when you're editing a video and then you have to redo the entire thing. That's the worst. And that is literally the key to making good short form content. To take your time. Also, please have fun with it. Remember to enjoy yourself during the entire process. It'll motivate you to keep creating and stay consistent. Trust me, that's how I stay consistent. Next up is the pre-production stage. This is where you'll be doing everyone's favorite job, editing. Now I know that everyone has their own style and approach to editing their videos, but I'm here to tell you the #1 framework you will ever need when editing your short form videos. I call it task by task. You might find yourself struggling with your editing because you always mix up the entire process. Editing task by task allows you to focus on one single job at a time. For example, I start editing my shorts by cutting up my footage. This is where I remove all the bloopers and all the unnecessary parts. The next task I do is adding in all my cutscene footage and all the extra stock footage that I need. Next, I edit my background music and add in some sound effects. Are you getting the hang of it? This method works so well because it makes you 10 times more efficient than editing spontaneously. So do each task one by one. Make a checklist if you have to. That is how you systemize your video post-production stage. Now, in terms of the actual quality of your video content, that is up to you to maximize. I'm not here to teach you how to create your content because you're supposed to be authentic in your own way. Plus, this is not an editing tutorial. But if you want to know exactly how I edit my shorts, comment below and I'll make a video on it. And now for the final stage. You're going to need a posting schedule. Here's what my schedule looks like. Every single day, one short form video. Pretty boring, I know, but it works for me. The only thing I do differently from other creators is that I use a scheduling app whenever it's time to post. It's called Trello, and I do this because I prefer to post my content on Instagram manually. As for YouTube Shorts and TikToks, I schedule them, which saves me lots of time. If you want to do something similar, I recommend downloading Trello on your computer or phone and playing around with their tools. Obviously, to stay consistent with your content, you're going to need a schedule, but it's all completely up to you on how often you want to post your content. And please write your schedule down on paper or on computer. I have my entire content posting schedule written down on Notion, which is another great software to use for content creators. And surprise, surprise, that is how the entire short form video system works. It's pretty simple to understand, but it takes time to get into that rhythm. But as long as you create your short form content based on the 4 components, pre-production, production, post-production, and posting schedule, you will level up your content game in no time. If you've never seen this extremely handsome face before, I'm Ken. Welcome to my channel. You know exactly what to do if you want to see more videos like this. I'll see you next time.